yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hey y'all, welcome to Cooking with 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐒. I am Patina 𝐓𝐈𝐌𝐄𝐒. And today we are doing the fancy dish, and we are making steak and shrimp hibachi. Yes, I'm tired, y'all, but you see the look. So make sure you click the links and you can see the makeup.
If you've already watched it, welcome to the third part. But if not, then this is the first part with the hair. And then if you want to see the second part, with me and my daughter doing the makeup and styling. And of course, all the links for makeup, clothes, all that stuff is in the description box. Then click these.
And then we are about to finish it and do the hibachi. You can do it for your fans, you can do it for yourself, me like easy. But we all do motions as if you want to get arms red stove, then you can take the stove, and make it at your man's or make it at home. So yes, today is steak and shrimp hibachi with some zucchini. Stay tuned, y'all.
Okay, so first things first, we trying to be in our classy bag, okay? We ain't drinking no Henny and stuff like that. Now, I don't drink much, but, we're going to start with the wines. And I do have timestamps in the description box. So if you want to skip this part, fine. But if you want to keep watching, keep watching. So you can either choose a white wine or a red wine. And then, of course, if you have your preferences, then go with that. If you don't drink, do sparkling wine or whatever you want to use. But this is a chart that just kind of shows, from dry or bitterness to sweetness, which can vary if you're talking about wine or sparkling wine or, non-alcoholic wine. Because the one that says very dry is not necessarily the driest one when you're talking about sparkling wine. And the types of wines that you would pair and how to balance certain flavors. And you can even get educated down to the wine glass sizes and what type of wine that you would use certain glasses for. So it definitely goes in depth. So, I'll have links in the description box. You can educate yourself. But I just, before going to the grocery store, I just did a quick Google search about what's a good wine to go with steak and shrimp hibachi. And so this site, Deli Pair, came up. And so it just listed some different types of wines, what would pair with it well. So I scroll down and then it gives the options of 3. And, the first one is an Argentinian Malbec, which is a red wine. And so just, might as well just give y'all the information. So it's like, that's the top 10 products, and screenshot these too, you guys. Just if you want to go back over it, it gives what it tastes like, what it goes well with. And I even did a search, just, some recommendations. And so the Katina is a good, affordable one. And the Cabos is a high-end one. And so if you're trying to learn more, as I am, then just, again, with the dryness, that more so describes the residual sugar, which can affect how bitter or sweet it is. And it also can describe the tannins. And so this describes all of that. Again, it gives that acidic, bitter taste. So the Malbec falls more in the middle of that range. So it'll be a little smooth, more neutral, which is cool if you're worried about that, especially if you don't drink like literal alcohol, because I can't do it, y'all. The stronger alcohols make you feel like your throat burning and your stomach burning, child. Maybe I haven't acquired the taste for it. But I be either needing something sweet or something more smooth or something, if I'm a drink alcohol and not a mixed drink. But yeah, we'll get into, the wines that we were talking about. But getting back to the comment about the recommended brands, then yeah, this describes the Katina Malbec brand. And so it's more affordable. And then if you got it like that, because we include in our budgets, or you a wine connoisseur, or you just trying to upgrade it, then yeah, the Cabos is a recommended brand. And if you look at how it describes the taste of it, it looks, pretty much in the middle, like it was saying, and balanced. And it better be good, shoot, for the price. And then the third comment was mentioned about the Altos Las Hormigas. I hope I'm saying this right. And you see the cosigns just, you know, from the entry level, and you see that's affordable as far as the price and the description of it, as well as the appellation, which is supposed to be really good. Also, while I was searching, looking at the brands, I saw the word appellation come up again. And so I see that it's not exclusive to this brand. And so, yeah, going to stuff like wine tasting and things like that will probably help get hip to the jargon. You know, I want to do that one day. But regardless, from what I'm seeing, appellation is having something to do with the growing region. And that's how come when the wines were saying stuff like Argentina, Chile, it has something to do with, you know, there's certain regions, the type of soil, all of that will affect how the wine tastes. And so it also affects the price. So I'm thinking, you know, the blended ones, you know, you can't pinpoint all where it's from, or it's from various ones, but certain appellations will be a higher grade of wine from what I'm thinking. But, you know, feel free to comment in the comment section, those that know, because, you know, we all learning. But in layman's terms, that's what it seemed to me, basically where it's grown at. And so each appellation region should show up on the wine bottle. And yeah, so definitely this brand, the appellation, should be a little bit better than the Classico. Now the second option that popped up is a white wine, a Sauvignon Blanc from Chile. You know, Chilean Sauvignon Blanc. And you can see on here with the grape profile in the middle, it shows there's different regions. And so, yeah, it falls more on a very dry range of taste. Shows what it kind of goes well with. I found this list of the 10 most wanted Sauvignon Blancs. And number 4 is the only one that showed up from Chile. And it's from the Santa Rita Reserva is the brand. And it is affordable. And so, yeah, just so you can see that if you want to get that one. And the price doesn't always depict how good it is, because you saw how that was number 4 and it's actually pretty affordable. And that's for the bottle of wine itself, it's affordable. But now, still, I recommend trying to check your local places, or, you know, if they have different qualities of wine and different stuff other than the grocery store, because this right here, it's the shipping that's going to get you. Some of these places don't even ship to certain areas. So just make sure you check that. But once you find one, then stick with it. But either get more bottles of wine or, you know, various ones, the same one if you like it. But just keep that in mind. Just wanted to give you the heads up about that. And then the third wine that's listed is a red wine called Barbaresco. And that just kind of gives, you know, a rundown of the profile of it. And if you notice, it doesn't have a place next to the name of it, because that is actually a place in Italy. So I guess it's assumed that they're all Italian wines. And so, yeah, it's in Piedmont. And then it also describes the flavor of it. And it's somewhere between a Pinot Noir and a Syrah. And those are like a list of some of the top brands on the right. And it's made from the Nebbiolo grape. And so those are characteristics of the grape. And, you know, how does it taste? And also, if you see at the top, when we were talking about wine glasses, you use a tulip-shaped glass for this reason. And there are other wines that are made from the Nebbiolo grape. What this is titling the Expressions of Italian Nebbiolo. So if you see that word, you're going to probably see different variations of wines. The top 2 that were coming up were the Barbaresco and the Barolo wines. They were kind of spoken about simultaneously. And so, yeah, all made from the Nebbiolo grape. And that's how come on that map you see where it says Nebbiolo regions, it is actually showing the place Barolo as well as Barbaresco there. And you already know I had to go try to look at what's the main difference. And so the Barolo has a longer age time than Barbaresco. You know, you can drink that one at a shorter age time, and it has less tannins. And then the most helpful was a comment from a group of people, of wine drinkers. And so they were explaining how with the Barolo, it's not as consistent in flavor as Barbaresco. But, you know, if you're a nuanced wine drinker, then you may be more excited by the Barolo flavor. But Barbaresco is going to be a little less expensive, but consistent in the flavor from brand to brand. So just keep that in mind. That was very helpful. And also looking back at the chart of the Nebbiolo wines, you'll see where it goes, the range from the full body to the lighter body wines. The Barolo is going to be fuller bodied than the Barresco. And if you're wondering what that means, it's looking like it means the alcohol level that's in there basically. The lighter body wines are going to have a higher acidity, lower alcohol, and less tannins, so it's going to be a little smoother. Whereas the fuller body is lower acidity, higher alcohol level, and more tannins. And remember, when it was talking about tannins, it's probably going to be a little bit more bitter tasting. And here's a chart of the type of wine bodies for red and white wine types. And so I noticed that the first one we talked about, the Malbec, is considered a full-bodied wine. So it's actually more full than the Nebbiolo, which is considered a medium on this chart. And the Sauvignon Blanc is a light-bodied white wine. And it kind of confused me, though, because as I was looking at the charts, then on this one, it's considered a light wine, the Nebbiolo, instead of the medium. And then the Barbara, I'm like, medium. I'm like, what is that? Is that another for Barbaresco? But nah, that's actually a separate type of wine. And so it's still a Nebbiolo wine, though. It just has less tannins and it's lighter and crisper. But even just looking over here, it's saying it's the lesser sister. You mostly talk about the Barolo and Barresco, which is like the king and queen, which makes sense because looking at this chart, they ain't got Barbara on there, no. Why Barbara ain't on there? Hello? Barbara?
Hello. May I speak to Barbara? Barbara, this is Shirley.
I couldn't help myself. They treat old Barbara like she the side chick of the Nebbiolo wines. If you know, you know as far as this song. I couldn't help myself to put that in there, y'all. Especially if you're country and old school. And even though this is a classic song, you know, as you get older and you listen to the lyrics for real, this Barbara's been around a long time, which is a perfect segue into this, y'all. Do not be a Barbara the Builder. A lot of women have learned this the hard way. But just don't be doing the Build-A-Bear, men, all of this. But if you're just wondering where the term kind of derived from, it derived from this kids cartoon. Just a female version of Bob the Builder, Barbara the Builder. Basically, Miss Fix 'em Up, your mother and your man, just for a more detailed explanation of that. It's a real term, y'all.
Too many women are suffering from Barbara the Builder syndrome. Because here you think that you can fix everything in a broken man. And you find yourself teaching him basic common sense stuff. Most women are fixated on the idea of a guy's potential. And they don't focus on who the person really is at the core. So what happens is that these guys turn around to resent women who are trying to mold them into something that they are just not. And they end up being that man for another woman instead.
Barbara the Builder is the same thing as a Pygmisha, except Pygmisha is more desperate and brainwashed. And she's building towards something. She don't know what, but it's towards him to leave her for another woman. Barbara the Builder is a brainwashed woman who thinks she's a power couple, but she ain't. She's just building a man for the next woman. That's literally what our Barbara the Builder is. Building up her man for the next chick.
Men never picked a woman that did so much for them. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you didn't build this man up, helped him with his resume, help him get a job, help him build a business, help him flip his money, help him when he didn't have no credit, help him raise his children on some you wasn't nobody before I met you type of thing, thinking that you're going to get a return on your investment or somehow this man's going to be indebted to you and do right by you because you helped him with all his... He's not, okay? This is the same man that will go and find a woman who's not doing half of the things that you're doing and give her the sun, the moon, and the stars because she makes him feel like a man. It's just what it is. He didn't ask you to do all of that. And do you think he want to look at you and think like, oh, this woman helped me build my life? He's not your child, right? It just never works out like that. So do me a favor and save your time, your money, okay? And all of your energy because it just never rolls around like that, baby. Either he's going to be like, thank you, peace out, or he's going to be like, I didn't ask you to do all of that. I didn't ask you to do all of that. It is going to be a conflict of interest. So you choose.
Men are very smart. They're very smart. See, men date who they need to date when they're down, and they date who they want to date when they're up. This is why it's very important that you be careful with who you build with, because some men will use you for the foundation and finish the entire structure with someone else. Support him at his lowest and watch him cheat on you at his best. See, nowadays, the wrong man knows how to act right. So don't get it confused. He's still the wrong man, just saying the right things. So my advice to you would be, when a new man enters your life, fall on your knees and pray and see if it's a trick of the enemy or a treat from heaven.
Dynamic known as like parenting your partner, right? And I think, unfortunately, a lot of women, because of how they're taught, and then because we see single mothers so much, like we model this woman after a very harmful model, a model that's self-sacrificing, right? A model that puts everything before self. And so we don't ever really take caution when a woman is doing more for us than she do for herself. Matter of fact, a lot of times, because we measure women by sacrifice, we'll say she a good woman. Right? Yep. When a woman died for me, she a good woman. You feel me? When she killed her dreams for me, she a good woman. You feel me? That's the type of shit we operate on. So you've not entered any type of masculine space. You've entered an authoritative space, a motherly space. And because we're taught to equate authority with masculinity, you're now being seen by grown men as masculine. What it actually is you mothering them, and some of them are stubborn children. You feel me? Because that's the new weapon against women, right? The same way feminine is the new weapon against men. You know what I'm saying? It's what I call you when I don't actually have the vocabulary to say what I want to say. I can't stand that women are cutting off pieces of themselves to fit into this box that are calling feminine now. Because it's really just controllable. That's what most men are saying when they say they want a woman that's feminine. When they want a woman that's traditional, they want a woman that's still willing to be controlled. Stop riding for the wrong men.
Now, do what you want, find some kind of middle ground. But just be careful of this, being Barbara the Builder. We ain't trying to do that, especially at certain big ages, or just building men from the ground up, going from one extreme to the other. Now, some don't even believe in cooking for them or doing nothing. They feel his wife to do this. I'm not saying go from one extreme to the other. Do know how to take care of your man if you want to do something nice, for him. Show your appreciation, especially if he's taking care of you and being good to you. Yes, be good to your man back. It ain't got to be in such a way, the same way the man doing, like just tit for tat that, like you just some provider and all this kind of stuff. But do show your appreciation. Do, just, you understand what I'm saying. But I just figured I'd put that in there and clarify that, while we talking about Barbara. And even though this is a classic song, when you really listen to the words, it's actually kind of cringe, y'all. It just really lets you know that whole concept of being a Barbara the Builder been around a long time. And so, yeah, we ain't doing it. Especially arguing over no man, honey, and talking about what all you did for him and all this. I don't care what he is. Situationship, and definitely doing that at these big ages, y'all. Don't do that. If you got to be fighting with other women over your man, supposed to be your man, honey, let him have him. Don't be calling and confronting no woman to woman about no man, honey. You just let him go on about it business, and don't let him come back and forth. But that's a whole nother story. We trying to be on something else, doing something nice in good situations, good relationships, and husbands. At least let it be your man, okay? Let's start there. But yeah, the song is classic. I'm country and old school. And speaking of being country, I ain't even saying it right, y'all. I'm sitting here saying Barbara when you're supposed to be saying it like this.
Barbara.
Right. Barbara. Like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. That's what I went to when I heard the right way you're supposed to say it. So that's old school too. If you know, you know.
Join the good times with the Hanna-Barbera family.
So yeah, my butt sit up here ain't thought of, ain't paid close attention to the E, thinking it's A, thinking Barbara with my old school self. So my mind immediately went to this song instead. Yeah, actually make me think about my auntie Carolyn, rest her soul. She loved her some blues, get her drink, play some spades, and she was going to listen to, you going to hear Woman to Woman, and you going to hear Tonight is the Night from Baddie Wright. as you can see, I agree with the comment that especially if you from the South, it's gonna be at every family get together. She gonna jump up with them. Come on now. She gonna be like, yeah, and get her little two-step on there. So I could not play that without thinking about my auntie. So yeah, and this is a collage that I did for when she passed. So rest in peace, auntie. Love you. So getting back on track, talking specifically about Barbaresco wine, because I couldn't really get into it without addressing Nebbiolo wines as a whole. Going back to the comments where a person was asking about beginner Barbaresco and Barolo wines, and so there were a lot of suggestions, and it's looking like the top one is a Produttore del Barbaresco, but it was a lot of good information just about long Piedmont wines, and especially Barolo. It's meant to age, so it's usually going to cost more. So if you're a weekend sipper, that's probably not the way to go. Now, we're talking about a special occasion, so if you want to do this for a special occasion, but it's better to get a later year, and of course you're going to pay more. So be really particular about the brand, especially if you're going the Barolo route, because Barolo is not as consistent in flavor, and definitely you have to age it, have cellars, all this type of stuff, whereas Barbaresco, yeah, you could age it, but not as long, and you have different variations of it to where you can drink it younger, and you just open it right up, and eat it with your food, especially if you're a weekend sipper. It's just better to go that route. So it's appreciated that they gave some recommended brands and even variation types of the wine, which I'll have to touch on the long one, especially because the original commenter decided to go with the Produttore del Barbaresco Nebbiolo de Long as the wine. And it's lots of people that co-signed on that particular brand, the Produttore. And so, yeah, the Produttore del Barbaresco is seeming like the top one, and this just goes into how it tastes. And yeah, there are different variations of that, but definitely, like I said, the long version, I was looking online and it was just saying that Produttore specifically ferments it the same way as they do their Barolo and Barbarescos, and so it may be an entry level, affordable one, but it's good, and you can open it right up without having to be particular about and paying a lot of money for an older Barolo, Barbaresco, and all of that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, if you're going to do the Produttore del Barbaresco or the Nebbiolo long one, then try to do it in the store, because online, I saw one, it's like a $50 minimum. You got to deal with all that kind of stuff if they can even ship it to you. So just be mindful of that, or go to a specialty wine store. And then some other recommended Nebbiolo long wines was this GD Vajra Long Rosso. Like, this person say they love it, and then the other person say they were just going hard for it. But then it seems to have a worthy competitor. They say that the Vietti Perbacco kind of outdoes it. So if y'all know about this, let us know in the comment section. And me, I had to look into it more, and it makes sense why they would probably like the Vietti one more, because it's closer to the Produttore one, because they're both 100% Nebbiolo grapes, whereas the Long Rosso one is a mixture. It's 30% Nebbiolo, 30% Barbera, 30% Dolcetto. So yeah, that's why it's cheaper, but it probably tastes good, but the other one is probably more comparable to the Produttore. So I can kind of see why they would prefer that one better. But yeah, going back to the original thing, just a straight up Barbaresco, then I would recommend, from what they say, the Produttore del Barbaresco. And then those are a few other recommendations. So screenshot it. And yeah, I just kind of went hard to at least be able to offer up some brand recommendations for somewhere to start if you really were serious about this. Since I'm gonna mention the wines to y'all on here, but initially, on the Daily Pear site, I just, at least found those three, and I just went into the store just as far as those types. not a specific brand in mind, or even knowing which one I was going to pick. There is an app also, so if you really want to get into it, then you can download the app. But if not, then feel free to just look on Google for free, because it's definitely have even more types of wines that you could choose from. And so you can play around with it, do whatever you want to do, honestly. But this, you know, we just trying to get a little classy with it. So yeah, just do that. Links in the description box. It will do another video at another time, just going more in depth about wines. So off to the grocery store we go. Of course, they got the 2-pack, and if you need to go cheaper, just go to Walmart. And it doesn't have to be a ribeye. It can be whatever steak. It just depends on your budget. But I'm gonna get some fresh shrimp. I think I want to get a pound of this, the white shrimp. Yeah.
1 pound?
Yeah. I usually like to get that big old thing of soy sauce, but I'm gonna get this one. Alright. Yeah, I usually like that Dale's to marinate my meat in general. I ran out, so I'm gonna get me some of that. I got the low sodium. And then zucchini squash. Usually like that. Yeah, I was trying to keep the budget like 40 to 50, 60 tops. And I think this is probably gonna be close to 40 right here. I'm gonna get this little loose stuff, go get me some cheap flowers from Walmart, stick them in the face and make it look expensive, because they be making it expensive because they didn't added this to it. I got their number. I got it. Alright, so I've been looking up wines, trying to see now. It's saying white wine is good with seafood, red wines, but I saw something called Sauvignon Blanc. So I see this Cabernet Sauvignon red wine. Something else called Malbec, which I don't see because I'm in a grocery store, y'all. So you know it's limited. So I'm gonna keep my budget. This with this. We're gonna go for the Sauvignon Blanc. Yes, it's barefoot. It's big. And it's gonna go with this. See that? That's for the adults type of thing. Kids, of course not. But if you're trying to do something fancy for a date and you want to get something more expensive, or go in the actual stores and do that. But I will list the wines. If you are a connoisseur of wines, I will definitely let you know what you can pair with it. You know, since we're trying to get fancy with it. But if you want a budget, this little $5, $6 barefoot gonna do what it do, especially if you're not a big drinker for it. Okay, so now looking later on, I am seeing where they do have some Malbec wines in Publix is where I'm at. If you're looking for the Catina Malbec, that is here. You're seeing the red blend section. Now, for the white wines, Sauvignon Blancs are here. And I was looking through here. I do not see the Santa Rita, but I do see the top two, which is cool. Actually, I do see Oyster Bay also. So, yeah, the number one that they had on that list, even though it's not from Chile, but as far as recommended Sauvignon Blancs, the Kim Crawford was one. And then the number 2 one says New Zealand is the Cloudy Bay. That was a little more pricier, but that ranked number 2. And then number 6 was this Oyster Bay on the list. Affordable. The only one that was from Chile that was number 4, I do not see in here. So it could stand a chance to be in another store depending on where you're located at, but yeah, I'm in Publix and I don't see it here. So if I were going to choose a Sauvignon Blanc in the future, I would have picked one of these instead of one of the value ones I did. One of these 3. And even though they saying it's award winning, I don't know. I wasn't that impressed, to be honest. but I know better next time. However, I do not see any Barbaresco or Nebbiolo wines at all. So I don't know if you want to, you know, go with something like a Pinot Noir or something like that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some dessert, especially just with this whole thing. And I guess you can't go wrong with strawberries, y'all. But these look a little more red and good. I think we're gonna go with this. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. But I got 2 of these. They didn't even put a half a dozen for real 6. They got 5 in each one. Look at them. They skimping, but it's all good. Got that, and I'm gonna put that together with that and make my own little fancy thing. And Dollar Tree got a little Valentine thing for school for her, and taper candles for my setup. That's cute little holder at Dollar Tree. See y'all, y'all can do it on a budget. All right, y'all, so here we go. We're gonna start, you know, of course, your cast iron skillet and your boiler for the rice. Or you can use a regular skillet, whatever skillet you're gonna use. Whether you going to his house to make it or you making it at home, you know, get your stuff and take it there. But if you're gonna do it at his house, I still would recommend marinating your meat first and doing your rice, because your rice actually needs to be, they say like a day old, but the cheat sheet is put it in the freezer. You know what I'm saying? Let it cold, get, you know, cooled off and stuff before you go to doing all this other stuff. So alright, that's my meat. Put this over here and throw it away. Usually I have like a little garbage bag. You know how us black folks be saving the garbage bag when we go to the grocery store. So usually I like to, instead of putting it out in the trash can, I just put it in the bag and then I end up taking it out when I finish. So I got my container, I'm gonna season it in and let it sit in. You can rinse it off again if you want to. All right. And then you can do 2 steaks too. It just depends on, you know, how much meat you want. So season it. You can do some type of steak seasoning that you may have. It's kind of already got a lot of different blends of seasoning in there. And I like this Chop House butter. It does give it that buttery flavor in the seasoning. See? Yeah. Safe to say that we might even be falling in love. Ooh, love, love, love. Ooh. Put some dill seasoning, and it's reduced sodium, so it doesn't have as much salt in the mix. Cause I know I be putting a lot of salt when I'm doing stuff. If you don't want to do the dills, you can actually put the soy in there. And like I say, if you want to do this the night before and let it sit in the refrigerator and soak in there good, then I would recommend doing it because it just makes the meat taste better and it soaks the flavor in there. But if you ain't got time for that and you're doing it the same day, at least do it minimum 30 minutes. Let it sit for 30 minutes while you probably doing the rice or something else. But I would say 30 minutes to an hour to overnight, preferably. Me, I'm not overnight, but I'm doing it earlier in the day. And put that over it and put it in the fridge. Now, I got another container for the shrimp. If you already got the tails off, cool. Mine got the tails on there. If you want to cook it with the tails on, you can. I'm not. I'm gonna pull them tails off.
It's been a while since I hollered at you. I mean, not with you. But I just needed some time to be doing me like you be doing you. But for tonight, I'll be waiting. I'm coming over.
Okay. Now, about to rinse them off and season them up.
Now soloing, you been soloing. I could hold you down, no more soloing. You been soloing, soloing, yeah. Put you in Chanel, no more poloing, yeah, yeah. Run it up, yeah. I could back it up, yeah. If you back it up, yeah. I could hold you down, no more soloing, yeah, yeah.
Nah, definitely don't forget the soy sauce, y'all. Again, I'm just gonna take that, sit it in the refrigerator, and let it marinate. Now we're gonna move on to the rice. All right, y'all. Now we about to start on the rice. Do as much rice as you want, but you gotta double it up with the water amount. If you're gonna measure the water at all. I'm measuring my rice. You can do it blind if you want to. On here it says 2 cups of rice to 4 cups of water. Basically double. So if you do 3 cups of rice, then do 6 cups of water. Trying to do is get it to come to a boil first. I'm gonna add a little salt to it. You can add a little butter, a little oil, or whatever. Mix it down. Then I'm gonna cover it with the top, and then you can have it up kind of high, cause you just, well, not that high, like medium to high. And get it to come to a boil. Once it boils, usually it tell you to turn it low and cook it for 15 minutes. But me, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do, because I learned this from my people. Just, you rinse it off to get that starchiness out so it's not gummy. And you'll see what I mean when I get to that part. And then I put fresh water in there and boil it for 15 minutes. That's the extra thing that's not on the pack. I'm gonna show you that though. It's been 10 minutes so far. It's starting to boil a little bit. But just make sure you stir it in between. Because it doesn't have to be like a rolling boil. But, you know, as long as it starts bubbling up. So I say it take about 15 minutes for it to come to a boil. Alright, y'all. It's boiling. So like I say, 10 to 15 minutes. It's thickening up. But what I do is I'm going to rinse all this starch. You see all that? Because if you let it keep going, that's how your rice can end up being gummy and stuff. So take this top, or you can use a colander, but you know, just take that and hold the rice back and just leave a little slip so you can let the water out. Try not to pour all your rice out. You see how I'm just trying to get that water out. can definitely rinse it. And just keep straining it till you feel like you got as much of that starch and white water out. See how I don't have all that white stuff in there? And put some more water in there to just cover up the rice to about right there. Put the top back on and put it back on the stove and let it finish boiling for 15 minutes. I'm gonna set my timer for 15 minutes. Now you still can check on it though, just in case it ends up boiling all the water out. But that's gonna be a lot of rice, maybe too much rice. That's how I do my rice. All right, it is done. See, it don't look gummy or nothing like that. And it's done. It's not hard either. So you know how I did 3 cups of dry rice? You could do 2 cups of dry rice then and 4 cups of water if this is too much for you. Now that the rice is done, you could either put it in the refrigerator, especially if you're just letting it sit overnight to cool off. But if you're doing it the same day, then put it in the freezer. That's a quicker way to get it to cool off before you start doing all the stuff to it, because you don't want to add, you know, the egg and all that stuff while it's still cool, because then it can turn gummy still. So that is why you must do your steak and your rice first, at least the rice. If you don't want to marinate your steak, that's your business. But definitely the rice got to be done first. If you're going to put it in here and you're really trying to get it cold quickly, don't have the top on here. Alright y'all, so you probably already saw the prep stuff that I did. The one thing in the ingredients that I left out was teriyaki sauce, which is optional, but you could definitely use some teriyaki. I did have some in there. And you can put that in your marinade as well with the soy sauce. But or cook it, you know, during that. But, yeah. So alright, I'm gonna start on the steak first. I'm using a good cast iron skillet because it's going to give you a good sear on the shrimp and the steak. Now I might let the steak cook a little bit longer because I want it to be a little bit more tender. But you know, definitely for that shrimp I want it to be seared, so the cast iron is good for that. But let's get some butter. Yeah, you can use butter or you can use olive oil. I got like an olive and avocado oil blend, but again, I am a butter girl.
You want something more than just physical. It's been a while since you met someone original. You spend your time drinking wine in your living room. All that good pussy, can't find the one to give it to. It's a shame. You see me, see the squad.
As you can see, it's already kind of turning pink right there, so that's what I mean. Do what it do. Okay. Alright, y'all see? Giving that crunch around here. And flip it over on the other side.
Make a mess all on them Versace sheets. I let her pull out on your chain when you on top of me. Tell me how you want it, baby, talk to me. This nigga wrapped around my finger, got him on me.
When I'm talking about seared a little bit, I'm talking about that crunch I'm talking about. When you start seeing that part on there.
I ain't worried about the mother girls that you had. If I catch you looking at my baby, I'ma laugh. You gon' keep it real, I ain't worried about that. I'ma hold it down for you and put it down on you. Ain't nobody else riding how I ride for you. And if a bitch I know down for you. And if you're looking for me, I'ma be around for you. You got a diamond, boy, you better act like it. You fucking with the baddest, you ain't got a cap like it. You know, I'm the baddest bitch you ever had.
Now what I'm gonna do is drizzle
soy sauce. Because it got a lot of butter, but I'm putting some more soy sauce on it. I'm going to add some more teriyaki. Drizzle some on it. Ooh, see when I turn that over? Yes, they look good on this side. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it looks good. The next thing is to watch the skillet out.
You manifested slowly, so fuck a fantasy. This your motherfucking moment. It's your motherfucking moment. It's your motherfucking moment.
Hope you got time. I'ma need plenty of it. I don't just like I love.
All right. Now we got that done. Next thing we're gonna do is the steak that's been marinated. You could have done it, you know, as one piece of steak and cut it later, but I wanted it already cut up, so it's your choice on how you want to do it.
You took me in, you bathed me in your water, found sin, left me yearning for more, and I can't say.
Alright, I set my timer for 15 minutes. I could do it longer because you know how the longer you let your meat cook, the more tender it will be. But then if I do that too long, I don't want to burn it. So I don't have any beef broth. I might have to throw a little water in there. So I may let it simmer a little bit, you know, so you can turn it low. Because it's one thing to have it brown, you know, and seared on the outside. But if you like your stuff well done, you know how some people don't. But I do. And I like it tender. A little water. And that way it won't burn. I'm gonna check on it in 15 minutes. I'm gonna cover it up. Let that do what it do. And then while it's doing that, I'm gonna cut the zucchini. So how about I let it cook as long as I do the zucchini? Alright, y'all see it. There's 7 more minutes left, but I may let it cook longer. Like I say, I'm gonna let it cook as long as I do the zucchini. So if it take extra time, then it so be it. It's on low to medium. So it's kind of gonna simmer. Alright, y'all. So while the steak is simmering, like I said, we're gonna cut up the zucchini squash and the onion. And I already got some mushrooms that's sliced. And it's optional. That's if you like mushrooms, you know what I'm saying? To put them in there. So that is that. Got to work on that. Okay. And you can decide if you want to cut them up as half moons or longer. That's your choice. How you want to cut them.
You got niggas from your past that still ain't past you. But you're on my time. You're on my time now. And it past due. Now that we finally got them out the way. All bad decisions that I wanna make. I want your body in a million ways. Nobody ever makes me feel the same as when I'm with you. Watch it up now.
Yep, so that's how you do that. Well, I still got more to go, so I'm just gonna let it ride as I keep going. Nah, change the plan. Some of it got brown. I'm tired. You don't want to cook while you tired, y'all. I think because I'm filming. If it was just doing makeup without having to do all this filming and all this stuff, it would have been a different story. It's still gonna be good. It's alright, but like I say, I like my stuff well done anyway. But nah, 15 minutes was fine. Or else put more water in it. Now, what I'm deciding to do, I got steak on one side. Of course, if you got something that's burnt, if you don't like it, just take it out. But I'm gonna put it all in one thing, half and half. And the meat is ready and just working on the veggies. So I'm gonna wash the skillet out. Got everything switched over. And now I'm about to finish cutting up my stuff. And then we'll do the zucchini and the rice will be last.
Gold on the floors and all over me. Time is galore. I'ma hate you some more. But it be like dealing with a queen. I just wanna make you feel, make you feel, make you feel. Big boss like $1,000 bill. Keep it real. I just wanna make you feel, make you feel, make you feel.
And then I'm gonna mix the mushrooms in there. So I drained off that water. You can see, you know how big they are. Looking at them, they look alright. You know, a few pieces like cut, but for the most part they look like they'll be just fine to me. So I'm gonna put these over in here. Put some in. Okay, and now I'm about to cut the onion up.
Hey now, I think about you all day long,
like big pieces like that if you want to get rid of, or cut it in half, whatever. But yeah, that's how I cut them. Alright, I'm gonna add in a little garlic. Okay, and then I'm about to saute them first, and then I'm gonna throw the zucchini and all this stuff in there with it. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and take that rice out of the refrigerator because that's what I'm gonna be working on next. So we're gonna set this to the side while I saute the onions and stuff up. That is clean. You definitely gotta wash dishes in between. Again, you don't need with the butter, or you can use your olive oil.
Girl, I've been weak all week, trying to sleep alone. It's been a long week. You should put me on, yeah. Girl, I've been weak.
Also, if you want to, you can throw some of that onion over
into the steak. A little extra butter. Yes, I'll be butter down, y'all. Put the zucchini in there.
It's the fire we make.
It's the fire we make.
Getting sweeter and sweeter. Like a night to a day.
About to make up these flames.
I can't stay away. Wouldn't you know? Those brown eyes see a side that nobody knows. Nobody knows but you. 'Cause you've always been mine.
Just throw some water in there so we can steam it. And cover it with a top and let it steam. Alright, you hear it boiling or whatever. So you just want to cook the zucchini down. Checking on zucchini. Yeah, it's done. Alright, so I washed that container that was holding it originally. And then I'm going to transfer it into there. Here it is. I'm going to sit that to the side. And now we're going to start on the fried rice. Now we're about to work on the fried rice. So we do 1 egg and scramble it. You can scramble it to the side of the same skillet. I'm just going to already get it done. Okay. Then we'll scramble that, put in the rice, add seasoning, peas and carrots with a little oil. I'm not gonna do butter this time.
I fall for you every time I try to resist you. We can get away. Palm trees, beach views, ordinary day. All I wanna hear is in the visions on replay. Sit right next to you. I try not to show how I feel about you. Think you wish you away, but we don't really want to. I just wanna get away and sit right next to you. I don't wanna kiss you. Yeah, I just wanna feel you. Feel you. I want you. Late nights missing you. The way you would hold my hand when we would cross the street. Your eyes when they paid attention. So many things I gotta say, but I wanna show you. So many words get in the way, so I wanna show you. Tell me how.
Tell me
you love.
Tell me how you love, baby. Cause transparency my love language. Can't see the bigger picture if your vision tainted. Love is like glass, either break it or you stain it. These late night conversations turn into a rain.
Now it's plating it. Of course you can just put the rice on there, but a fancy way when it be looking all neat is to put it in like a little bowl and put it on the side. So I'll show you. So you just put it in this little bowl. Like I say, you can sit it on the plate if you want to. But if you got these, you
And do it all cute. Put it in there. And press it down. And then you just sit neat on the side. See? See how neat that look, y'all? You know this plate looks kind of big. I wonder if I should have two things right from me. Of course, you can put your some steak, your shrimp, and get this and put it on this side. See y'all? Then, if you got like the little sauce thingies, alright, and then like I said, we going with this Sauvignon Blanc wine. Then I'm gonna take a little strawberry, cut it. And actually, you know what? I should have did it this way, this direction, and stick it on the side. Ooh, make it cute. See how cute it looks? And I wasn't sure where to put this, but I'm going to add this bonus footage. It's about 8 to 10 minutes of girl talk that was not included in the makeup video. So, you know, timestamps if you want to skip over it or if you want to listen to it. But I figured it may be a little helpful, you know what I mean? So, if you want to listen to that, then just listen to this a little bit and then we'll show you the ending. Yeah, we lost some footage in the middle.
Yeah, that footage was like, no.
And it was some good talk too. So if it come back out, fine. If it don't, it don't. But
it more than likely ain't. Negroes. I'm tired.
Like I say, you know, it could definitely be where, you know, you could be destined to meet someone and it may not necessarily be long term or have the potential to be long term, but it's just how y'all decide to deal with the situation because everybody has free will. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he better have the free will to do right.
Well, and he may try not to be manipulative type of stuff, but you know,
well,
just don't give too much.
But
just don't give too much and go too much with the flow to where you're flowing, not directing the flow of traffic to a degree. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You ain't responsible what the other people in traffic do, but you responsible for what you do and how you gonna ride or who you gonna ride with and how they drive. Mm-hmm. If that analogy works. And like I was saying, as far as what we doing with this whole like cooking thing and stuff, that stuff is sweet and it's nice, and especially, you know, make sure that's your man or that he is invested in you. Like say he takes you out to eat and do all this kind of stuff, and you know, don't do it on no pick-me stuff trying to prove no point. But if you truly are appreciative of how he treats you and wants to make him feel nice, then yeah, do that. Or whatever other stuff you got in mind, but you know. What?
Why you say it like that?
Because it may be something else they want to do other than cooking. You know what I'm saying?
Nasty.
I wasn't saying it. That's not what I was saying. Well, I'll say that's another part that could be, you know what I'm saying? And also don't take yourself too fast, though. If, you know, whether you are a virgin or a celibate or just not ready to do that, then don't feel pressured to do that just because of a certain day
of the year, you know, or birthdays or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just take your time and make sure that that's something that you truly want to engage in with that person. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot happens, even spiritually or just emotionally. Being connected to a person in that way is a lot harder to disconnect from someone, you know, when you do that. So just, you know, make sure you value your body, and that's for everybody. You know what I'm saying? At whatever level of experience, you know, now if you just want to do something that's your business, do what you do, but just be careful out here. You know, if just on that level. If you ain't been out there doing all that, don't let nobody make you feel pressure. It's okay, you know, for someone to be nice to you and stuff like that. You don't owe nobody nothing. But, you know, if you do, just be responsible. And
why you staring at me?
I'm not. I was looking at
I saw you
trying
from
to
the
think
corner
what
of
I'm
my eye. I was
doing
like,
next,
something.
but I mean, I could be talking to you too there for sure. You know, it's just good advice in general. I'm all here for love, and as long as folks treat you right, I'm here for it. And then, of course, you know, treat them right in return. And make sure it's worth your time. You know? Just being a gentleman, which is good. You know, yeah, all kind of other things going on in life, like school or, you know, work or businesses. We all got things going on. So just stay focused on you. Don't get too enmeshed in a situation where you lose yourself. Because that's what marriage is all about, two becoming one. You know, it's all right to factor people in, but don't factor someone into your life decisions too much to where you go to altering your path and all this kind of stuff unless you married or close to it, or, you know. It's a difference. It's levels to it. But, you know, as long as he makes his intentions clear, and I get that, you know, people can have stuff going on. They may put a little pause on stuff, but just if their actions is acting a certain way, which the actions definitely go with that if you had to choose between actions and words. But if the actions and the words match, that is what's up. And then if you ain't sure, don't be afraid to say how you feel and what you need. Because if you gotta feel reserved because you're scared of losing somebody, if honesty can ruin a relationship of any kind, then it wasn't real, or it could have been based on control or just fear, but not healthy love. Whatever type of relationship it is, you know. And that's why, you know, even just mother-daughter, you know, I really appreciate that you even feel that you can talk to me, you know, honestly about things.
I gotta wet this makeup sponge. I'm hearing you though.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you the beauty blender. Usually she wetting her sponge. But, well, yeah, so far so good, honey. Just...
It don't seem like so far so good.
I mean, as far as so far so good that as far as the level that you're dealing with him at, you know, if you're talking about it going further, then yeah, you know, it have to probably be more things talked about, give it a little more time, and seeing, you know, where people at on certain things, you know, but don't compromise yourself just, you know, hearing too many excuses about stuff either, you know. Especially if they're going to behave in a certain way. But then say you ain't that, then at a certain point you have to question what is that about, you know? And not be afraid of that. Whether you have to ask it directly or be honest with yourself about it. But, like when I say so far so good, I mean right now y'all just spending time together, getting to know each other. He's being a gentleman. He's not putting undue pressure on you about stuff. And that's cool, you know? And vice versa. You're not either. You're not being demanding of him. I mean, you've been understanding of him. Just don't be too understanding where it ends up being like a bunch of excuses with certain things either. Depending on what it is. You know what I mean? It's cool to be flexible. But don't, like I say, don't go too much with the flow and it ends up, you know, you end up not where you wanted to go with the destination.
Overflowing.
You want to get to whatever destination, or even just y'all being honest with yourself on what the destination is. You feel what I'm saying? At a certain point, you know.
So, yeah, I was trying to advise her. I mean, she was young. She was 20 then. She's 21 now. So she has very limited dating experience. And, you know, I was trying to advise her when you're in that transitory phase between when you're dating and you're starting to like each other a lot. And, you know, they acting like they your man, but then it ain't quite been made official. And just... you know, it just started getting wishy-washy. You could tell, because even when she be like, I'm tired. So it didn't, you know, it ended up, you know, she ended up getting out of that. But I just didn't want her to get her feelings too deep, but still enjoy it for the level it was at. But if it was going to go further, then yeah, it needed to be more clarification and other things like that. But at least it was worth her time, because a lot of the young adults, they so worried about being called simps, these young men, to where they being flat-footed mean, don't believe in dating. And at least she wasn't dealing with all that, thank God, you know. So, you know, he at least took her out, and she, you know, he was a gentleman and wasn't pressuring her, you know, to, you know, have sex, whatever. So I think for the level it was at, it was cool. But, you know, for it to progress further, it was too wishy-washy, and she ended up, you know, leaving that alone. But if you want to watch the video to see the makeup looks and stuff, then check that out. But now for the ones that's solid, you know what I mean? Especially at your big age. If you older, you definitely ain't got no business being in nothing unsure, situationships, all that confusion. Nah, we ain't doing that. This is for the ones that are solid, that's your man. Or, you know, if you want to have fun, that's your business. But I'm just saying, this your man, and especially those that's married, because y'all definitely need to spice it up. Y'all the main ones got that license, you know, the married people. So don't be afraid to turn it up. You know what I mean? Get into your, you know, mature, classy, baddie bag, you know, this for that. And so since we cooking, you know, you want to spice it up, have some fun, you know, with the baddiness. You can cook in something sexy. And so this is just different styles, different range, whatever your thing is. You know what I mean? Just be careful what you wearing. You might want to cook in advance. You might not get much cooking done. You might have to have a little intermission. You feel me? But, you know, these are really just so fun stuff. You know what I mean? If that ain't your thing, just, you know, the tank top and some shorts, a jumpsuit, you know, pants, whatever your body type, whatever your thing is, you know. So slip dress, this might be something you wear afterwards, as if you want to, you know, lounge wear. You know, this is classy, you know, the robe and the long lingerie. It's cute, you know, lace, form hugging, if that's what you want to do, you know. It's cute. Yeah. So like I say, this was originally for Valentine's Day, but you could do this at any point. And it's very least, you know, just cute bra and panty set that you can have on under your outfit. And so this is the dress that I had on in the video. And I also had an alternative that I saw on Fashion Nova. The top looks like my necklace. And since hibachi is Japanese, kawaii is like the cute, lovable, adorable Japanese culture fashion. So this is adorable to cook in, especially the heart neckline. And, you know, I know Chun-Li is Chinese, but that's cute, you know, especially if you want to get into your role play or the geisha lingerie, just really cute. So, yes, you can have some extra fun if you want to make it spicy, especially if this ain't nothing you do all the time. And also, I got you on the playlist, so you could click that link and see all the songs that appeared in all 3 videos in order. And that can give you some songs that you can add to your personal playlist as well.
If your heart is hungry, you can place your order here with me. Let me serve you up, let me serve you up. See, you can have it your way, you're the customer. If you want me supersize with some loving on the side, just ask for what you want, 'cause you're the customer. When I get next say yes. Don't deny what you feel, let me undress you, babe. Open up your mind and just rest. I'm about to let you know. Make it to me, babe. Woo, come on. Make it to me, girl. Look at me, baby. Make it to me, babe. Whoa, make it to me, girl. Ooh, na 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 na. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's all. Thursday. Hey. Can I have it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? That's all.
I like 'em attentive and I like 'em in control. Baby, it's yours. If you want it tonight, I'll give you the red light special.
Shut up over there, 2 bottles of wine and a slow jam made our bodies align like a eclipse. You keep blocking like a remix. I'ma keep rocking. Listen, let me make it clear. What you looking for is standing right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. You over there, you right in the chair. Right here, right here, right here, right here. You over there. You got that I don't wanna go.
If I never went through it, I would've never found a love like you.
Alright, y'all, what y'all think? The whole setup, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know, everybody got levels to it, so you can do it on whatever level. You know, if you want to do more or something more expensive, then go right ahead. If you're on a budget, I tried to compensate for that too. But, you know, you can do stuff, something nice. It doesn't take a whole lot of money, you know. And, yeah, I'm tired, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching Cooking with Adochie. If you have not watched the makeup and hair video and the style and all that, then click the link for that. So make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Bye.